Hey everyone, it's Caroline. I know I haven't done a video in a while and I've been meaning to get back to it. And I kind of figured what better time than when I can't leave my apartment by choice than to do another video. And today I just wanted to jump on here for a few reasons. Number one, just to give you a little behind the scenes in terms of what stuff is really like. I think even though I try to be really open and authentic and transparent with you, there's always, when I'm writing something, obviously I can edit something. And so I thought video might be, a way to kind of pull back the curtain and maybe present a more unvarnished unvarnished truth or whatever. So first of all, you might note my appearance. So it's so funny because I've been working from home for years now. And even when I worked in corporate, I worked from home a lot of the time. And I have a really good routine. Like I'm typically very good at acting as if I actually, go to work. And it's still technically morning here, but I'm in my gym jams. And it's just interesting to kind of observe for myself that this crisis situation has even given me the opportunity to, or I wouldn't say the opportunity, but it's kind of caused me to regress a little bit. All of the great habits I've put in place that normally I would be going through pre-coronavirus, now I seem to, to not following through. I'm still in my gym jams. But technically I have a few more minutes until it's technically the afternoon. So what I really wanted to get on and talk to you about today is just expanding upon a point from my last blog post where I was sharing about who I rely on for support. And after I wrote that, I was just kind of reflecting back on even just a few years ago, like there was a time when I felt like if something bad happened to me, really, really bad, I really did feel like there was no one I could call. And I think the one exception to that is my mom. Like my mom's always there for me, but as you guys probably know, like there are some things that you just don't want to talk to your parents about. And it was a really unmooring feeling, right? Because it's not like I didn't have any friends. I have a very close relationship with my brother, pretty close to my extended family. And yet to have all these relationships that I invested time in and still feel like I couldn't pick up the phone, or if I did pick up the phone and call them, I really wouldn't get the support I needed. Cut to probably I'm sure there were lots of little baby steps, I'm big on baby steps, that led to me having this now. I feel totally supported. And I shared in my last blog post, I can pick up the phone and call a number of people and just even really be thoughtful around, who in particular would be best suited, or maybe I want to kind of poll a few people. And that is so night and day from where it used to be. And I do trace back one of the pivotal moments was several years ago. I was still in New York, so it must have been pre-2017. And I was talking to two of my coach friends that I met in coaching school. And I was sharing, I can't remember why, but I was sharing a very deep memory, an important memory for me at my dad's funeral when I was 18, and describing to them how I dealt with grief. And for me, it was literally, I remember feeling the walls go up. We were sitting there in the receiving line and everyone was giving me their recipe for how to grieve, whatever. And I remember being like, this is so silly. All of these emotions are just, off the charts. And just kind of like making a decision and making a pact with myself, like I'm going to be the strong one. Strong meaning like, and I could feel the walls in kind of this protective bubble going up around me. So I was sharing this with my friends, and immediately after sharing it with them, I remember thinking, oh God, I've shared too much. And I felt silly and I felt stupid. And of course, vulnerable. I think Brene Brown calls it a vulnerability hangover. And it really does feel like that if we feel like we've overshared. And I remember saying to them, hope you guys aren't, pitying me or feeling sorry for me, because at the time that was like the worst thing in the world, is to like have someone, feel sorry for me or pity me, because to me that meant I was weak. And I remember my friend slash coach saying, not only do I not feel any of those things, but it makes me feel closer to you. And this might be obvious to you, right? I often love the fact that things that are such a revelation to me, most people kind of learn when they're children. But for me, this really was I had such a strong reaction to this. It was absolutely revelatory in having this person, and having it be a man, let's be honest, having a man say to me that, in a totally platonic way, saying that he felt closer to me because I did share and I was vulnerable. And so it just immediately kind of replaced all of those feelings about shame and embarrassment and weakness and everything with, holy moly, this actually has strengthened my relationship. And up until that point, even if I had read it or kind of accepted it intellectually, I hadn't really had, certainly not as powerful an experience, but I didn't live it. And that was really one of the catalysts. Like I'm sure there are other things that happened, but it really stands out in my mind as one of the things that made me seriously think about my relationships. And as I started evaluating each one of them, and a lot shifted when I left New York, because I was shaking off a lot of my old beliefs and limiting beliefs and stories. And I think with it went some of my connections with friends, because they were, kind of doubling down on the very things that I was walking away from. And I realized the pattern that I'd set up in my life with really being there for my friends, and yet sharing so little of myself. And as a result, not being able to rely on them or feel, and who knows whether objectively I would have been able to rely on them. But I played a role in that, right? I set up that dynamic where they probably didn't know a ton about me. Who knows how close they really felt to me. And it was 100% my energy and my role in setting up that dynamic. And so I wanted to share that with you, because I think, we can all say, oh, be the change. But it really is true. And I think we have to look, whenever a relationship is not serving us in the way that we want it to really look at, what is the role that we're playing? What have we settled for? What are we asking for or not asking for, as the case may be? So that's the story I wanted to share with you guys. And I would love to hear from you. I would love it if you guys want to send me a video message back. That would be even awesomer. That would be great. And would love your feedback on this and any other topics or questions you want me to talk about. Talk to you soon. Bye.